Welcome to Ocean School. Today we are going on a learning journey with marine biologists Amy and Becca. Climate change will affect everything, from the tiniest ocean plant to the largest whale. So let's get started. What is climate change anyways? Climate change is the process where more carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide acts as a ceiling to the Earth, which blocks the release of heat. That's why the overall temperature of the Earth is going up. Have you ever thought about how climate change will affect the ocean? You might be thinking about sea ice melting or ocean levels rising. What you might not know is that climate change could affect the microscopic ecosystem that acts as the ocean's set of lungs. The ocean breathes just like us, except it uses little ocean plants. Just like the trees on land, phytoplankton take energy from the sun to photosynthesize and use up carbon dioxide. Phytoplankton are everywhere in the ocean, but you can't see them with your eyes. You need a special tool, like a microscope. Even though we can't see them, they are doing an important job, taking up carbon dioxide from the air and sinking into the deep ocean. Phytoplankton are effectively dumping carbon into the ocean and therefore removing it from the atmosphere.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm a graduate student at Dalhousie University. I'm interested in the tiny trees of the sea, called phytoplankton. I'll be looking at the species in the Northwest Atlantic Ocean, which you can see right behind me. Phytoplankton are super important because they're part of the biological carbon pump. This is the process in which they photosynthesize and take up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and then dump it into the deep ocean. This is really important for all of us because it effectively removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Climate change is going to cause the ocean to warm, and we have no idea how this will impact these tiny trees in the ocean. To look at this, I'm going to be collecting water samples and turning up the temperature and seeing how the phytoplankton species react. This is important because phytoplankton are a key indicator for overall ocean health. Not only are they part of the biological carbon pump, but they also form the basis of the marine food web. So tracking how they're doing with climate change is super important.
Now we know about the tiny trees of the sea, called phytoplankton. They form the bottom of the food chain and allow the entire ocean ecosystem to thrive. Because of this, if phytoplankton can't survive with climate change, it'll throw the whole ocean ecosystem out of balance. Changes to the ocean because of climate change could affect how the ocean takes up carbon dioxide. For example, phytoplankton might be less able to sink, which would make the carbon ceiling thicker and increase the warming of the Earth. So even though we can't see phytoplankton, learning about them and how to protect them is important to protect the Earth from the impacts of climate change.
Just like how small organisms are impacted by climate change, so will all ocean creatures, right up to the largest ones, like whales. But how are they actually impacted? Well, all ocean creatures, from phytoplankton to whales, have homes, just like us. Except while their home is in the ocean, we get to live in a house. And when temperatures get too warm for us, we go into our homes and change the thermostat to bring the temperature down. But when temperatures are too warm for ocean creatures, they have to pack up their bags and leave to look for a new, cooler home. A home that may no longer exist if climate change keeps making the waters too warm for them to survive. Some people depend on these ocean critters for food, but where there once was fish may no longer have fish if the water there becomes too warm for the species to live. So, where will these species go?
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm also a graduate student at Dalhousie University. I'm interested in what new species interactions will occur with climate change off Canada's east coast. As climate change warms our oceans, species will have to either adapt, relocate, or go locally extinct. My research will be looking to see what new species will be entering their ecosystem in the Northwest Atlantic and how that will affect the ecosystem already here. I'll do that by looking at all species in the ocean here and then predicting what new species will be there in the next 20, 40, even 80 years into the future. By determining what new species interactions will occur, we can see how that will impact the ecosystem and the services they provide us, like food, water, and carbon storage. Commonly, scientists find many problems, but I want to use this research to find a solution, to see where along the East Coast needs conservation based not only on ecosystems now, but also as species are finding new homes in the future.
By learning where these species go, we will be able to better protect them, especially as they're put under the stress of finding a new home. It would be like having a house built for you before you even need to move in. But protecting species is not all we can do. Everyone can make a real difference in their own lives to take action and influence those around us to help. Let's see what actions others have done to reduce climate change impacts.
Personally, I've reduced my meat consumption because not only does it release methane gases, but it also increases the land use for agriculture. Because you have to grow so many crops for the animals themselves, you actually end up missing out on a lot of the nutrients that you could be providing to people as well.
I wrote a book that helps the general public understand basic scientific processes that explain climate change, along with a cost and benefit analysis of changing your daily life habits to make them more eco-friendly.
One thing I've done for climate justice is start a club at U Ottawa to launch a divestment campaign to demand that the university get rid of all of their investments in the fossil fuel industry, understanding that it's been a huge driver of the climate crisis.
I've used my knowledge to research an ecosystem, eelgrass beds around Nova Scotia that is very important for global climate change mitigation. And I did a lot of outreach and storytelling around this to raise awareness about it and get people to know and care about this ecosystem so they can figure that in when they, for example, go and vote for local candidates or even on provincial and federal level.
Just like these climate leaders, you can make a difference too. Climate change will impact all of us, and everyone can work towards a solution in their daily life, big or small. Thank you for joining us in Ocean School. We hope you learned something new about the ocean, from tiny phytoplankton to whole ecosystems. We look forward to catching you on the next wave.